Alrighty guys, today we are doing a cool new video I've never done on my channel before. I'm going to be comparing my brand new Canon 90D to my iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, I think the iPhone 11 Pro's come out a few months ago, and I've just picked up my Canon 90D, and I want to see, is there a major difference between a mid-range DSLR versus a smartphone in 2020. So, it's going to be a very interesting test. I've never actually done a video like this before. So it's going to be new for me, but we're going to just see how it goes. I'm using a kit lens on the Canon 90D, the 18-55, which comes in the box if you buy it with a kit lens. And I'm just going to be using that stock lens. I'm not going to change it out to any other lens. I'm going to use whatever came in the box, which is 18-55, to make it as fair as possible. And on the iPhone, I'm just going to be using just stock lenses. I'm not going to add any attachments like the Moment lenses or the Sandmark lenses, nothing like that. I'm just going to use whatever the iPhone has. Now, I want to do some stills and some video tests as well. In the video department, it will be in 4K 30 frames a second for both devices. Like I said, both will just be stock standard footage. No color grading, nothing like that. And I'm going to have it next to each other. So I'm not going to tell you which footage is what. I'm just going to put both of the footages next to each other. And you guys will just have to distinguish which one is the iPhone and which one is a DSLR. Then at the end, I'll just run through and I'll just tell you which one was what the whole time. When it comes to the photos, I will have, like I said, both photos on screen as well. And I'm not going to tell you which photos are what. And for some of the photos as well, I'm going to be doing portrait mode on the iPhone to test that out. Obviously, the depth of field on the DSLR with the bigger sensor and the lens is a lot different to a iPhone sensor, which is tiny. But with obviously portrait mode on the new phones, that gives you that added depth of field in the background. We'll see which one actually looks better. Now, I assume the DSLR will look better the whole time, but I might be wrong. It depends what you guys choose. Obviously, stock footage on both devices. You guys might like the iPhone footage better. I'm not sure. But this video, obviously, like I said in my update video, all my footage now will be in 4K. So it's going to come out in 4K. And you guys can tell, you should be able to tell the difference in everything that you guys should see with this footage. All right, guys, so if you are excited for this video, let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do something like this, maybe comparing another type of camera. I'm not sure. You just let me know in the comments. But without further ado, let's head out to the park and I'll catch you guys there. Alrighty, guys, we're at the park right now. Everything is set up. I've got my phone in my pocket. Obviously got the camera I'm recording with here on the 90D. And I'm just going to go around and take some test footage of different locations and different things, close-ups, some landscape shots from far away, and all different types. Maybe some macro shots as well, as close as I can get with both cameras. And then we'll see what the results are in a minute. I'll update you guys shortly. Guys, this is the test footage from the Canon 90D with no mic plugged in, and from the iPhone 11 Pro also with obviously no mic plugged in. I'm not going to tell you which one is which. They're both on auto settings, and they're both recording, like I said, 4K 30 frames a second. No color correction, nothing has been done to these videos. This is straight out of the camera, straight off the phone, onto the computer. So I want you to guys tell me which one you think looks better, just straight from camera without any editing. So I'm going to do a few different test footages here with me talking, and at the end I'll come back and tell you which thing was which. But you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think is what right now. Alright guys, here's some more test footage. We're walking in the shade, and with a lot of bright sunlight out as well. I want to see how the dynamic range is and how both cameras do. Like I said, there's no mics plugged in, all 4K 30 frames a second. Let's go into the shade as well, see how they do under here. Like I said, they're both on auto settings as well. How's the autofocus on both? Okay. So the leaf in front of us. I want to see how the stabilization is as well on both. And is it really worth a 4K camera, a proper DSLR camera on YouTube, or can you just get away with using your phone just for general things? Obviously there's a market for proper cameras, like cinema cameras, but for everyday just vlogging, running and gunning, can you use your phone to get away with it, or do you actually need a Pro DSLR camera? We'll see at the end of this video. Alright guys, here's some more test footage of myself. I'm recording on one of the devices. I've taken my glasses off so you guys can't see which device I'm actually recording with. Now there's a bit of sunlight out and there's a bit of shade, so I'm just walking in and out of that to see how the dynamic range is and the highlights and my shadows here, if they blow out or not. But like I said, everything is in auto mode right now. No mics attached, no ND filters on any of the devices. So it's just straight up out of the camera. This is exactly what it sounds like. And this is exactly what it looks like. No editing, no nothing. Which device is which? You guys let me know in the comments down below. Alright guys, I've switched over to the other device. Now I want you guys to tell me which one is which. Can you see a difference of any of these devices? Is the color better? Does the sound better at all? What is the difference between these two devices? Which one is which? I want you guys, like I said, let me know in the comments down below. Like I said before, there are no ND filters, no external mics to attach to any of these devices. So straight out of camera, this is what it looks like, this is what it sounds like. Which one is better? Let me know in the comments. Alrighty guys, this is the last piece of outside footage test I'm going to do. The next footage you will see will be from inside the studio with both devices to see, is there a difference in low light? Is that where the DSLR is going to shine, or is it really not worth it even from inside footage? Well, that's what we're going to test out after this. So this is the last piece of outside footage, like I just said. Let's do one quick focus test on both devices. Let's go up to this tree. Alright, back to the tree. I want to see if you guys can guess what is what. If you guys are enjoying so far, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Alright guys, this is some indoor test footage with the Canon 90D. I'm going to point out which cameras I'm using. So right now I'm using the Canon 90D. And I just want to see what the low light looks like on this camera compared to the iPhone. Now I've got everything on auto settings. I've got no mic plugged in, so this is the internal mic you will be hearing right now. Autofocus is on, and I think it's at about 24mm, not that it really matters. But I'm going to try and match up the iPhone as good as I can to this same aspect ratio right now. It's going to be maybe a bit wider than this. So if you guys see a difference, let me know in the comments down below. I haven't put this edit together yet, so I don't know what I'm looking at. But like I said, everything's auto settings. So on the count of 3, I'm going to switch over to the iPhone and see if we can see the difference. So 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, we are testing out the test footage from the iPhone 11 Pro. We've just taken a test shot from the 90D in the same area, the same lighting conditions. Everything was on auto on both devices. Now we've got a bit of light coming in from a window over there. We've got some lights from above and we've got lights behind us. I want to see how the iPhone does with that. How is everything exposed? How is the face tracking? Is it keeping me in focus this whole time? It's on autofocus, obviously it should be fine. Everything's on auto, like I said. What does it sound like? Because obviously it's a bit far away. It's about 2-3 meters away from me, the camera, 2.5 meters. So how does everything sound? I'm not too sure what everything's going to look like. Is there a lot more noise on an iPhone in the low light? Normally there is, because obviously the sensor's a lot smaller. All these little types of things I want to see. Obviously we're not outside, so there's not the perfect lighting conditions, and we're not walking around, so there's no really use for the image stabilization when you're sitting indoors looking at the camera on the tripod. So again, is this where the DSLR is going to shine? Because they're both shooting in 4K. So what is the difference here? I really want to see what they both look like. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Alrighty guys, before we take a look at the photos, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have put both of the images side by side, so you guys can see the difference. And also the camera, the 90D, was taken in RAW. So I've also added at the end of the two images that you'll be seeing side by side, another image that's been auto edited by Lightroom. So I've literally just imported all my camera photos from the DSLR that's in RAW into Lightroom, clicked auto, so it's done it all itself. Then I've exported them back out. So you guys will see the iPhone image and then the DSLR straight from the camera. And then after that, you will see an auto edited image from the camera as well compared to the iPhone, just so you guys can see the difference. That RAW brings out a lot more details in a photo compared to like a JPEG and all that kind of stuff that's coming straight from an iPhone, so to speak, unless you get an external app that can take RAW photos, but that's another story. So just want to let you guys know that, but we'll hop straight into the photos, and when they're done, I'll come back to you guys. Alright guys, that wraps up the photo part test of this video. We're going to head back to the studio now. I'm going to put everything together and I'll catch you guys once I'm back. Alrighty guys, before I do end this video, I just want to sum up a few things that I came across while doing this video. And a lot of you guys would have seen obviously by watching this video. So I do have a few notes here that I want to go over. So the first thing is, when I looked at the test footage from the iPhone and the DSLR, straight out of the camera, the iPhone looks a lot better. Now, just to the normal eye, it's a lot brighter. The colors are better. It's a lot sharper, the image. The dynamic range is better. But that's what you do get when you do buy an iPhone. A lot of the processing is just done there within the phone itself, and it's a lot better straight up. Now, when it comes to DSLR, the advantage is obviously because it's a bigger sensor, there's going to be less noise when you're doing in low light. There's going to be more flexibility to change out your lenses, stuff like that. And obviously, the bigger the sensor, you can have a lot more detail to play around with. So when you do bring it into post editing, you can change the colors a lot better without losing a lot of detail. Even when we're looking at the photos, you did see the first image, I actually zoomed up to 1000%. And there was a lot more detail in the actual DSLR than there was in the iPhone. I expected that to happen, obviously, because the sensors are a lot bigger, but that's something to note. If you're looking at this video thinking, which one do I pick up? Just like if you're doing a YouTube video, you're starting a YouTube channel and you want to do I need to buy a DSLR? Do I not need to buy a DSLR? If you have an iPhone in your pocket that shoots 4K video, there shouldn't be a problem to start. The footage I did record with the iPhone looks exceptional, straight out of camera. Like, you don't even have to touch it. You just put it into your editing software. Even if you use iMovie, it doesn't really matter. And it just looks fine. Also on the iPhone, you can get third-party apps which allow you more access to the camera. So I know you can get Filmic Pro. It's probably one of the best video apps that you can probably get for the iPhone. It gives you a lot more flexibility when filming, which is awesome. Also, you can get the Moment app, which is good for taking photos. You can start shooting in RAW. Giving you a lot more flexibility to use with your phone. Obviously, the details won't be as high as the DSLR. It's like, that's just how it is. The sensor is a lot smaller in an iPhone compared to a DSLR. Now, again, moving on to the DSLR, if you're looking at like maybe blowing up your photos, making posters, making all this kind of stuff, because the megapixel count is a lot higher on a DSLR normally, the photos blowing them up will be a lot clearer and more detailed. So if you're looking at doing stuff like that, that's why I recommend the DSLR. Again, if you're shooting in RAW on a DSLR, there's a lot more flexibility in editing in post-production. But again, you're going to have the equipment to do that. So you probably need a laptop or an iPad to put them into Lightroom, so to speak, and then start editing from there. So it's not just having the ability like on your phone. You can just take a photo, go into the app, edit it through the onboard app settings. Stuff like that has to be taken into account when you are filming on a DSLR, that you have to have somewhere to export the footage to, edit it, color grade it, all that kind of stuff has to be done. So if you haven't got any of the equipment to assist you with that, then I wouldn't really recommend getting a DSLR. Again, you're just going to be taking photos and not be able to edit it properly and all that kind of stuff, and it's pretty much a waste. You're not going to be taking full advantage of the camera itself. All right, guys, summing up the video, it really just depends on what you want your cameras for. Like I said before, iPhone, it's all-rounder. It's quick and easy. You just shoot, it's done, it's finished. You got your footage there. With DSLR, there's a bit more involved. You got to edit it, you got to do all that kind of stuff, but it just depends what you guys are looking for. So it comes down to personal preference in the end. All right, guys, so quickly, one of the biggest questions I get is, should I be filming in 4K or should you be filming in 4K? Now, my response to that is I would honestly recommend, if you can shoot in 4K, definitely shoot in 4K. You're not going to go wrong. Like, if your videos are good, whether you're shooting in 4K or 1080p, if you're shooting great content, then people are going to love it. Now, the only thing I would say is I wouldn't recommend going out and buying a 4K camera if you can't afford it, just to make your videos look better. If you're shooting a great quality video, whether it's in 1080p or 4K, your video is still going to shine through. So like I said, I wouldn't recommend going out and buying a 4K camera just to make your videos look 4K if you can't afford it. So if you can afford it, I'd recommend it. If you can't afford it, don't stress. Once you do get to that stage that you can, then you can upgrade. But it's not, I don't think it's a big necessity right now to be shooting in 4K. Now, this is the start of 2020, so maybe throughout the year I'll update you guys on what my thoughts are. But right now, this is where I stand on shooting in 4K on YouTube. Alrighty, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Like I said before, this is my first time doing this type of video, so if it's a bit all over the place, I do apologize. I'll try and fix it in the future. If you guys have any tips for me, let me know in the comments down below as well. And yeah, if you guys have enjoyed it, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe for more videos. We're going to continue doing these on a monthly basis. If you guys haven't seen my update video, check that out as well. Very important to watch that. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Peace.